How'd you work out a day like this for opening day?
Well, they put me in charge of the weather for today, so that was the only job that I had, so it turned out pretty good.
How excited are the guys to get ready to rock and roll here?
Well, for the last 2 weeks we've been going through skill instruction, and so today's another day, another opportunity. But to be in full team practice, I think we're all excited, and certainly have a wonderful day out here to do scrimmage and try to get the pitchers online for the next 3 weeks and build up their innings as we go.
How are you feeling about the top end of the batting order and kind of how that's shuffling out with some guys getting out?
I'm excited about our entire offense. We're going to have the opportunity to play upperclassmen in probably 7 of the 9 positions, but we certainly got some super talented young guys too that continue to push those guys day in, day out. And so the next 3 weeks that we'll continue to look at different things, both defensively and offensively as far as lineups. And that's the great thing about having 3 weeks. We get to do some experimentation. But Coach Callier, Coach Seeley, Coach Pennington have done a wonderful job with the hitters, and I feel like the hitters would say the same thing. And just look forward to hopefully getting some great weather here the next 3 weeks and continuing to grow.
How different will the offense look philosophically from last year?
I don't know a whole lot. Coach Callier is going to coach third. Coach Pennington will coach first. Coach Seeley will be in the dugout again. Coach Seeley will run the offense from the dugout, and I think all 3 of them are going to have input into kind of forcing things as far as on the bases. And both Coach Pennington and Coach Callier have been outstanding, and have done a good job. And Coach Seeley and those 3 guys have really meshed well together.
How do you manage expectations, Coach, when you've been as successful as you guys have been?
Well, nobody's expectations are higher than ours. Our goal is to finish at the top of the league, host throughout the postseason, and get to Omaha and be the last team playing. And that's our hope and our goal and our mission every time we take the field. And, nobody's expectations are higher, and when we don't get there, no one's disappointment's greater than the coaches and the players in our program.
How valuable is it to have a guy like Cliff who had success here and went on to play in the big league level?
It's been invaluable. I didn't have the opportunity to coach Cliff. He signed the year before I came in, but got the opportunity to know him throughout his career. He would come in the off seasons, and he made it clear to us about 3 years ago that when he finished playing, coaching college baseball was something that he really wanted to do. And so we got to know him in the off season, and you could see that his passion. I mean, so here's a guy that played 10 years in the major leagues that is as humble and passionate about the game and teaching our guys. There's not an ounce of big league in him, and his knowledge and the type of player he was has been so impactful to our guys on the base paths, defensively, and all the little things that maybe don't show up in a box score that Cliff was so good in the major league level for 10 years. I mean, so thankful to have him here for this year, and I'm glad he waited to finish his degree. He'll graduate in May, but he's certainly been a huge asset to us in the short time he's been here.
At least by the numbers, you guys had a historically good pitching staff last season. Do you feel like this rotation and bullpen has a chance to be as good, if not even better?
I do. I mean, I miss John Doxakis every day. I mean, he was such a great leader and an emotional leader, and he had a great year for us last year. Casey Kallick, our closer, is gone, but we've got almost 75% of our innings back and some super young, talented guys that are going to fit in, and just had great leadership out of our pitching staff. When you think about Asa Lacey, Christian Roa, Chandler Jazawak, those guys have been amazing leaders, and they lead from the front. I mean, when those 3 guys' feet hit the floor every day, they're on a mission to be the best that they can be, and they've done a great job bringing the other guys along with them.
How about the position players as far as the leadership there, with Braden having gone last year? How have you seen that change?
Well, obviously, we lost a super talented player in Braden Shoemake, but when you think about the seniors, you got guys like Hunter Coleman, Cam Blake, Bryce Blom, and those guys lead from the front. Mikey Honer's another one that just leads by example day in, day out. And, we've got a lot of older guys that have done a great job from a leadership standpoint positionally.
You carried a large squad in the fall and had some guys win jobs or win the spot to be here in the spring. How did that transition into the spring, that competition to even be on the fall, the spring roster carrying over into the spring?
We did get the number down to 35, and that's where we are today, so there's not that stress or pressure with any guy on our team right now, but 35 is just a number. I mean, we don't have to be at 35 when we start the year or when we finish the year, but all 35 of the guys on our roster right now bring something and make us better in a lot of different ways. And but it was an extreme competition in the fall, and I would expect that the same as we move forward the next 3 weeks. We've got a lot of different options, a lot of different things to look at on the mound, defensively and offensively as well.
Coach, how has Jonathan Childress continued to progress off of Tommy John now 1 year, almost a year removed, and what is your expectation for how you'll use him?
He has made as much progress as a guy like Lou Menifee. I mean, he finished up in November, bullpens, and was upper 80s and really good. He'll throw today 1 inning, and he's in the general population, so to speak, with the pitchers, but we're still going to protect him. It's a marathon, not a sprint, and we want to make sure that he's at his very best in May and June, and so we just want to continue to treat him with kid gloves and put a little bit more on him each week. And I would like to control his outings early in the season where he earns the opportunity to start. It may be a 2-inning stint, get him off the field and build him up week to week, 3 innings the next week, something like that. But he needs to go and pitch well. Know he's excited about today, so are we.
In the same vein, how is kind of the overall health of the team going in right now, coming off the fall season?
Well, we were incredibly healthy 3 or 4 days ago, but we got some nicks and some dings, and we'll just kind of temper that day in, day out. We're not at 100%, but I don't think we're ever going to be. We just got to continue to get these guys in baseball playing shape and try to do a little a lot. And instead of coming out here for 4 hours, we'll be out here for 3 hours and do the same tomorrow, give them Sunday off, and then hit it for 6 days in a row starting on Monday.
You mentioned Menifee. How do you see his role at the start of the season? I mean, I know there's still a few weeks, but
really, if the season were to start tomorrow, I'd really like Bryce Miller and Lou Menifee at the end of our games, and Trevor Werner's another guy that's got a chance to be in short stints. All 3 of those guys have outstanding stuff. With Moo and Bryce, they give us a right and a left matchup late in the games. I don't think we settled on a closer. I think both those guys have been in the grease enough last year that they can handle the end of the game and the pressures that come with that.
How does Werner mix in positionally as well, Coach?
Well, we're taking a look at a lot of different things with Trevor, on the left side of the infield, and he's just a super talented kid, a hard-working kid, and certainly he's going to have some growing pains along the way, but he's a guy that has the opportunity to do some great things during his time here at Texas A&M, and we just want to give him the opportunity to be the best he can be. But he'll be on the left side of the infield somewhere, and certainly on the mound for us late in games.
How much are you, Coach, tinkering and changing stuff in these first couple of series? What are you looking at? I mean, how do you get a feel, I guess, for what your team can have once conference play starts?
Well, we're going to do a lot of tinkering here the next 3 weeks with lineups and different looks positionally in the fields, and same on the mound. And next week, second time through with the pitchers, we'll bring them in pressure spots. But the lineup we write on opening day is certainly going to be different the following week as opposed to when we go on the road and play Auburn and open up SEC play. It's always changing, and hopefully by the time we get to week 4, the week before we open up, I think week 4 will be an opportunity for us to treat it like a conference series. We'd like to be there by week 4 and have an idea of what our rotation wants to look like, what our lineup's going to be.
Coach, the end goal is Omaha, but what are you focused on right now here in before your first games start to eventually get there?
We'll always ask our guys to be focused on the moment, and today we want to get a little bit better each and every day, and today we've got a gorgeous day, and we need to continue to grow and develop as a team day in, day out. It's obviously Omaha is a goal, but for us, we got to continue to grow daily as a team, and we've got these 3 weeks before we open. We're far from a finished product, but we just got to get a little bit better each and every day and have fun doing it.
Would you like to go? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
We know names like Asa, Bryce, Mikey, but who's someone may not know their name yet who you think will end up being a big part of your season this year?
Well, certainly we've got Chris Weber back and Chandler Jazawak as far as and Jonathan Childress from the left side. On the right side, guys like Evan Vanek are super talented guys that are trying to figure things out. Mason Ornalis, Blake Mayfield, Dawson Barr on the pitching side of things. Logan Britt is a young freshman outfielder that's very, very talented kid. Rody Barker is a junior college transfer that is just a baseball player. He can play anywhere on the field, plays incredibly hard, and there's quite a few other guys that I think the fans are going to really enjoy watching, both positionally and on the mound.
Would you prefer to go left, right, left with Lacey than Roa on Saturdays, or is it just way too early on?
It's way too early. I mean, that would be kind of what we would all lean to right now, and I don't know how it looks. I mean, we will have 1 week out of the first 4 non-conference weekends where it may be a matchup situation when we do go to Frisco when we look at those 3 lineups, but if we open tomorrow, that would probably be the look that we got. But Christian Roa is has come so far in the 3 years that he's been here, and certainly earned his way into the rotation last year. Dealt with some health issues. He's 100% healthy and was unbelievable in the fall. But Asa Lacey has been the same as well, and those two guys it's a pretty good feeling going to the field on Friday and Saturday with those two on the mound.
You mentioned your non-conference schedule. Fullerton came off the schedule, and you only put a first-round draft pick to start New Mexico State against you. That was pretty good planning, wasn't it?
Well, it's an awful tough non-conference slate. Miami of Ohio has their entire lineup back on a team that won 38 games. The next week we've got Army, incredibly talented, was in a regional last year. We go to the Frisco Classic, which will be better than any regional, and then we come back home, like you said, and play New Mexico State, who've got arguably the best collegiate hitter in the country, and a team that is very, very offensive. And very thankful to get them on the roster with that change happening so late. It just so happened that they had that weekend open and it worked out, and so it's been a good thing. But it's going to be a challenging 4 weeks for us before we open conference.
Obviously, it's tough losing a guy the caliber of Doc's, but being able to have a guy like Lacey come in and be that Friday night guy as you build the rest of the staff, how valuable is that for you?
Well, it's huge. I mean, all three of the guys that I mentioned earlier, Asa Lacey, Christian Roa, and Chandler Jazawak, I mean, those guys are leaders from the front in everything that they do, but it's always a good feeling knowing who your Friday night guy has a chance to be before the season starts. There's been years that we didn't know, and we weren't going to know until we got through these 3 weeks. So, you know, certainly taking our Saturday guy last year, Asa Lacey, and moving him up to Friday, that's a good feeling. Christian Roa, again, is 100% healthy and has pitched at an incredibly high level since the fall started. And, you know, it's a good feeling with those two guys at the front end of your rotation.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, guys. Great to see you.
Yes,